Stop blaming yourself for attracting toxic people because the real reason, honestly, has nothing to do with your self-worth or your boundaries. What I'm about to tell you will completely flip everything you thought you knew about difficult relationships on its head. It's kind of mind-blowing, really. The spiritual reason you keep drawing these people into your life isn't a punishment or a sign that something's wrong with you. It's more profound than that. It's actually pointing to something incredible about your soul's purpose that most people never discover. It's quite fascinating, don't you think? The universe isn't sending you toxic people to teach you lessons about loving yourself more. That's what everyone else will tell you, but they're missing the bigger picture. The real reason is so much deeper, and honestly so much more empowering than anything you've heard before. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this keeps happening, and more importantly, how to use this knowledge to completely transform your relationships forever. Part 1. The Soul Contract Theory. Have you ever wondered why certain toxic people seem drawn to you no matter where you go or how much you've changed? There's something happening on a soul level that most people never discover, and once you understand it, everything will make perfect sense. Here's spiritual insight number 1 out of 6 that will completely shift your perspective. You didn't accidentally attract these challenging people into your life. Before you were even born, your soul made specific agreements to help certain people learn important lessons through their interactions with you. Think about it this way. You're not the victim in these situations, you're actually the teacher who simply forgot about the assignment you signed up for. Every toxic person who enters your life is essentially your student, and they're here to graduate through the lessons you provide them. The drama, the chaos, the emotional exhaustion you feel isn't punishment for something you did wrong. It's the natural result of being a spiritual educator who hasn't recognized their own power yet. Once you understand that these people aren't your problem to fix, but your students to help graduate, everything changes. You stop taking their behavior personally and start seeing yourself as the powerful guide you truly are. Part 2. The Energetic Lighthouse Effect. Now here's something that might blow your mind about why you keep attracting the same types of people over and over again. There's an energetic phenomenon happening around you that you probably don't even realize, and it's actually a sign of your spiritual strength, not your weakness. This brings us to spiritual insight number 2 out of 6. If you're highly spiritual or emotionally evolved, you're literally emitting a frequency that draws wounded souls toward you like a lighthouse draws ships during a storm. Your energy is so bright and healing that damaged people can sense it from miles away, and they instinctively move toward you seeking relief from their pain. But here's where most people get it wrong. You've probably been told to dim your light, lower your energy, or hide your gifts to avoid attracting broken people. That's like telling the lighthouse to turn off its beacon because too many ships need rescue. So, the real solution isn't to become dimmer. It's to learn how to function as a lighthouse with proper boundaries instead of, jumping into the water to save every sinking ship. When you understand that your bright energy is actually your superpower, you can start using it intentionally. You can guide people toward healing without drowning yourself in their problems. Part 3. The mirror crack phenomenon. There's a hidden pattern in every toxic relationship that most people completely miss. And when you finally see it, you'll never look at difficult people the same way again. This pattern actually holds the key to reclaiming parts of yourself you didn't even know you'd lost. Here's spiritual insight number 3 out of 6, and this one might surprise you. Every single toxic person who shows up in your life is acting like a cracked mirror, reflecting back a disowned part of your own power that you've been afraid to claim for yourself. The narcissist who seems completely selfish is actually showing you where you need to develop healthy selfishness and put your own needs first. The manipulator who controls every situation is revealing where you need to embrace strategic thinking and take charge of your own life. The person who always plays victim is highlighting where you need to stop rescuing others and start empowering yourself. These people aren't randomly appearing in your life to torture you. They're your personal development team working in disguise. Each toxic behavior they display represents a strength you've rejected in yourself because you were taught it was bad or wrong. But what if these so-called negative traits are actually superpowers when used with the right intention? The moment you start reclaiming these disowned parts of yourself, the toxic people lose their hold over you because you no longer need them to show you what you're missing. Part 4. The frequency mismatch trap. You know that feeling when you've grown so much spiritually and emotionally, yet somehow the same old drama keeps showing up in your life? There's a specific energetic reason this happens, and once you fix it, you'll finally start attracting people who match your actual evolution level. This leads us to spiritual insight number 4 out of 6. Your soul has evolved, your consciousness has expanded, and your wisdom has deepened, but your energetic signature is still broadcasting an old version of yourself. It's like your spiritual radio is stuck playing reruns from years ago, while your actual self has moved on to completely different programming. Think of it this way: you've upgraded your inner software, but your energetic Wi-Fi password is still the same one that attracted all those toxic connections in the first place. The universe keeps sending you people who match your old frequency because that's the signal you're still putting out into the world, even though it no longer represents who you truly are. The solution isn't complicated, but it is specific. You need to consciously update your energetic broadcast to match your current level of growth. This means changing not just how you think about yourself, but how you energetically present yourself to the world. Part 5, the sacred no activation. Most people think setting boundaries with toxic people is about building walls to keep them out, but what if I told you there's a way to say no that actually helps both you and them on a soul level? This approach doesn't just protect you, it accelerates their spiritual growth too. Here's spiritual insight number 5 out of 6, and this one will change how you handle difficult people forever. Instead of creating walls around yourself, spiritually awakened people need to develop energetic force fields that serve a higher purpose. There's a specific way to say no to toxic behavior that doesn't just shut people down, it actually helps their soul learn the lesson faster, which ends the cycle for both of you. When you say no from a place of love and spiritual authority rather than fear or anger, you're not just protecting yourself. You're offering the other person a powerful gift. You're showing them exactly where their behavior crosses the line, and you're doing it with enough love and clarity that their soul can actually receive the message. This sacred no isn't harsh or mean, it's firm and loving at the same time. It communicates that you value both yourself and them enough to maintain healthy standards. Most toxic people have never experienced a boundary that comes from love instead of rejection, and when they do, it often triggers their own healing process. Your loving firmness becomes the catalyst that helps them grow beyond their toxic patterns. Part 6. The graduation ceremony. You've learned why toxic people appear in your life and how to handle them differently, but there's one final step that most people never take. This step officially completes the spiritual lessons and frees both you and them to move forward in your respective journeys. This brings us to spiritual insight number 6 out of 6, the most powerful one of all. There's an actual spiritual process you can use to complete your soul agreements with toxic people and release them with genuine love. This isn't about forgiveness, and it's not about cutting energetic cords like you might have heard before. This is about consciously acknowledging that the lesson between you and this person is now complete, and giving both of your souls permission to graduate to your next assignments. Think of it like a spiritual graduation ceremony where you honor the learning that took place, appreciate the growth that happened, and officially close this chapter of your soul's education. When you complete this process, something beautiful happens. The toxic person either transforms their behavior around you completely, or they naturally fade out of your life without drama or conflict. They move on to learn their next lessons with someone else, and you become available to attract relationships that match your new level of consciousness. The most amazing part is that this graduation process often triggers positive changes in the other person's life too, because they're finally free to stop playing the role they were unconsciously assigned in your growth journey. Now you understand the real spiritual truth about why toxic people keep showing up in your life. You're not cursed, you're chosen, you're not broken, you're a teacher, and you're definitely not powerless. You've just been playing a game where no one explained the rules to you. Every challenging person who crosses your path is actually helping you reclaim your power, update your frequency, and step into the magnificent spiritual being you were always meant to be. The question isn't how to avoid these encounters, it's how to navigate them with wisdom, complete the lessons with grace, and graduate both yourself and others into higher levels of consciousness. You now have the tools to transform every toxic relationship into a spiritual victory.